Oh boy. Hi. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for the GDC for the invitation. I'm not nervous at all. Sorry. I am Marius Winter. I make games with my friend Benedikt Hummel, and we call ourselves Major Bueno. This is us. Benedikt is bigger because he's not on stage right now. You can see it in my eyes that I love this devil. And we both make games in Germany, Flash games, and met in school 3 years ago. And we made a lot of small games. And at the beginning of this year, we had a tour. We traveled through Europe for 7 weeks, visited several indie game developers, and made games with them. The tour is called Tour Bueno, and it was a 7-week journey that taught me a lot. And I want to share with you my 8 favorite things that I learned from Tour Bueno. But before that, let me tell you a bit about the project itself. So Major Bueno pretty much started in 2013, when we joined the One Game a Month project. That's a webpage by Christian Kaitila that motivates you to basically make 12 games in a year. And it was the perfect kickstart for us to just getting started, making a lot of games, but also to find out what kind of games we want to make and where are we good at, where are we bad at, and need more practice. And so we did that in 2013. We made 12 games and wanted to make them as different as possible. So there's a platformer game, a brawler game, there's a social experiment, colorful, black and white, fast and slow. And there was this, we evolved kind of through this year from 2 clueless guys to 2 less clueless guys. We kind of got better at ideas finding. We kind of know now how to approach new projects and kind of get creative processes, but that kind of only worked for us. We found out that being creative works completely different for everyone. And there is no real instruction manual that tells you, do this to get good ideas. That works for everyone. So we were intrigued, and we wanted to know how other artists approach projects. And we want to go out and game jam with them and experience their workflow and see how they come up with ideas. And why not also bring a documentary team to create web episodes? Because this topic is interesting for everyone, not just game makers, but also filmmakers, writers, musicians, gardeners, potters, everyone who does things that involves even the tiniest spark of creativity. And that idea became Tour Bueno, where we visit 11 indie game developers to make 11 games and create 11 web episodes, documentaries. And here are the indies we met. Variety was very important to us. There was Dragica Kalina, who is a sound artist. There's Henrike Lode, who's interested in the teaching abilities in games. Tatiana Vilela loves physical interaction in games. There's Pietro Rigiriva, who makes more abstract stylistic games. And there's Sososovsky on the other side, who makes loud and messy games. And many solo artists we have here. We also visited a small studio, Broken Rules, and also tried a bigger one, Media Molecule. And we spent around 3 to 4 days with every artist, and this is how each visit went. Step 1, we arrive, say hello, we hug a lot. Step 2, we get to see their hometown. This is a road trip after all. And while hanging out, we brainstorm a game idea, and we make that game in the next 48 hours. And after that, it's time to say goodbye and move on to the next city. Okay, these were all the rules. Here's finally a video about our tour. Enjoy. So the tour was successful. We met everybody. We made 11 games and 11 web documentaries, and they are all online for free, and I'm super happy about that. But now to my talk. There are, of course, 1,000 topics I could talk about for hours. I could talk about the games we made on tour. I could talk about the countries we saw. I could talk about Sostasovsky's weird bathroom door. But today I want to talk about making games. These things I learned mostly apply to game jam situations, but bigger game projects could use a bit game jam spirit anyway. So here are my top 8 things that I learned from Major Bueno. Number 1, working from a different place once in a while is good. So Ben and I spent our 1 game a month year in a room in our school, and we were working in the same environment for over a year, and you know how that can make the room slowly fade into irrelevance, and it becomes boring and frustrating to go every day there and work and work and work in the same room. But being in different locations on a tour was a huge energy boost. So, you know, after a game jam, when all your energy is gone and you need a lot of time to recharge it, on the tour, we were in a different country every 4 days. We met different people. We ate different food. And it brought our energy back a lot quicker, and it made starting a new game jam really fun. Okay. And without the tour, we would have never made 11 games in 7 weeks. It was just plain impossible in one of the same room, but it worked out with food like that. So next time we feel stuck, we will just go out for a week and work somewhere else. Oh, no, please don't. Number 2 of the things I learned from Major Bueno, Post-it notes are good. So we met Henrike Lode in Copenhagen. She works on Machineers, and she's a passionate game jammer. And to brainstorm our game idea, she told us to draw unconnected, more or less abstract pictures on Post-it notes. And we make lots of them, and then we pick 3 random ones and form the game idea out of that. And so here we have pictures of a free-fall tower and friendship straps and a bird-like dude. And this became a game about friendship on a free-fall tower, and the characters are birds. The game is called Freefall Friendship Simulator, and where you ride this freefall tower, and while you slowly go up, you quickly need to become friends with your neighbors, because if you don't get friends, then you puke down the whole thing. And I think everybody can relate to that. And yeah, this is something I knew before in theory, but actually doing that made it for me clear that Post-it notes are just an awesome, straightforward, quickly way to get started, to talk about something. So if you just draw a couple of pictures, put them together, and then just imagine that this might be your game idea, and yeah. Number 3, physical brainstorming plus multiplayer equals good. So here's Adrian de Jong. He has a lot of hair. And when we visited him in Amsterdam, he brought us to this event here.
The Miss is a tiny theater hidden in a small alley in the center of Amsterdam. Once a week, people gather here to enjoy literature, music, theater plays, or other art forms like gaming. Adrian enjoys to help people engage in unusual social interactions.
So yeah, you can see that it was really fun there, and this thing with the toilet paper was a tug-of-war game with toilet paper, and it was really fun. And yeah, social interactions, that is what we wanted to aim for in our game. And the next morning we sat down and brainstormed, and here's the clip of the exact moment where we came up with the game idea.
What we need everyone to do is, we're all going to put down a finger on the phone.
Yeah.
The idea is to create a game for the iPhone or the iPad that makes people engage physically in some way.
F5, sure.
It's kind of sexual.
It is kind of sexual. We're all rubbing this thing. So what if, let's make this the tiniest game we've ever made.
Yeah.
What if
the screen is here?
Yeah, that's
That would be
perfect,
awesome.
right?
Yeah. I like
5 people playing the game, but also that the screen is here. We can do that.
So we made the tiniest racing game ever called Petit Prix. This is a GIF from the iPad version. You can have up to 11 players, and when it's so tiny, you have to cuddle together to play it. And this is the kind of social interaction that we were aiming for, and it's cute. And what I love about this game very much is that the idea came up from just putting our fingers on a phone. It was simple and fun, a bit intimate, and and this happened. Number 4, having no plan is not that bad. So we made a game with Sososowski on this tour, and here is a clip about how it is to brainstorm with this kind of maniac.
You build a house out of blocks, and someone moves in. There's the war, and they're shooting from all directions. Or there's like a thunderstorm, so there's one golf player.
We should have a police chase in the game. Maybe you can also, there are items. So there's the granny in the beginning, and you punch her, and she's like, why did you punch me?
Please don't use my methods. You are going to have a hard time doing that.
So Source barely stays at one thought for too long, and the game we ended up making with him changed a lot during the whole game jam, of course. And at the beginning, we tried to make a serious game, actually, but that quickly became the most not serious game ever. It's a detective story, and you have to punch people to progress through dialogue. Like every time you click, and there's a mystery of a missing corpse, and there's a tree stuck in a cat, and it happens. You all do that to become Employee of the Day, and there's even a theme song.
You're pretty okay.
And as you could imagine, the game was made without a real plan, and all the elements were put into the game directly when we came up with them. And to be honest, at the beginning, Ben and I were really scared of that, and because we love planning, I love spreadsheets and all. But it turned out to be that a chaotic game that was made in a chaotic way has this fascinating aura to it. To me, there's this clear signature noticeable, some kind of sauce stamp on it, and you play a couple of seconds of this game and also the other games of Source, and you know, hey, this is a Sosowski game. And so I really want to, and I encourage everybody to at least once make a game without planning, just jump right into it. Just start making it. Don't be afraid. It is a journey to the unknown, but probably the quickest way to find out what kind of games you want to make. So, number 5 of the 8... All right, haha, it's my alarm. So the thing is, we sit around a lot in the office, like all of you as well, I think. And once in a while, you have to do a jumping jack. So we have this alarm every 30 minutes. We do 30 seconds of jumping jacks to get your blood flowing and all that. And it's quick, and you feel much better after a while. I think you guys should do that as well. Sorry. Okay, number 5. 30-second workouts are good. So once in a while, we sit a lot in offices, and you sometimes need to move to get your blood flowing. So I encourage you to, every 30 minutes do 30 seconds of workouts, and it helps a lot. And this guy, Adrian de Jong, teaches us that. And after a while, we really we do that in the office for real, and it really feels better after a while. Number 6. Research at the real thing is good. Okay, what I mean by that is if you research anything, you will miss out big time if you only rely on Google Images. Here's an example. I mostly do art in games. I animate, I can scribble things on paper, but I always have difficulties with environment design, like this jumping check idea. Okay, my least favorite part is to draw backgrounds, and especially nature, hills, water. I'm a bit scared of it, and when I'm doing it, I always think like, someone else should do that, and at the end, I'm not super pleased. This is a panel of a Breaking Bad comic I did, and this is the kind of landscape. But then we met Ed Key, and he said, let's hike, and Ed from... you know him from Proteus, and Ed loves nature, and of course we brainstormed our game by going outside. So we went on these hills, and the photos, of course, don't do it any justice, but imagine that it was windy, and the grass was moving like water waves on the hill, and it was beautiful, and also a bit adventure-y, because there were swamps everywhere that you can't see, and And there's only this thin line we have to walk there. Everything's a swamp. And it was magnificent. And it had an impact on us. And for me, I really thought, like, oh man, I really want to try to make nature in Flash. Yeah, we make Flash games, and trying to put that experience in Flash is a bit tricky, but that is the challenge. And so we planned making this Flash game, and I really want to capture this thing, and I tried it, and it worked out, actually. So here's a GIF of the final game. It's not magnificent, and I'm not saying that all of a sudden I became an environment artist. But this is an environment that I'm actually happy with, I'm a bit proud of, because before that I had to do landscape art, and now I really wanted to and face a challenge and feel good about it. And it all only was because we went on a hike. So this is another of the things that I knew before in theory, that going somewhere for research is 1,000 times better than Googling it, but actually doing it for once made the difference. And I got it now. Number 7 of the things I learned from Major Bueno, cats are great. So this is Ramona, Luke Spirevka's cat. And here's Jack, who lives with that key. And number 8 of my 8 things that I learned from Major Bueno, always awkward silence is good. I love this topic so much, and all of you know it as well. I believe every one of you have experience with that, but we never really talk about it. What I mean is in this video. Passt.
I don't know. Like, I don't know, this huge basket.
I still like horses.
So do you guys have experience with that as well? It is, these are these moments where we think we hit a dead end, and when awesome idea suddenly doesn't work anymore. Sometimes it's so frustrating. I feel like I'm not creative anymore, and everyone else is amazing, and I spiral down this deep doubts about sometimes. But on the tour, where this happened a lot, obviously, I kind of learned to accept these moments of awkward silence. I found out that everyone struggles with this, even Sososowski. And that revelation made me less afraid of it. It doesn't mean that I have less of these moments. Still, it feels like 75% of our brainstormings are occupied with sitting there feeling stuck. But I kind of made peace with that, and it lowered the chance of freaking out a little bit. And I love showing this around as well, even if it hurts a bit in the belly, but yeah. Okay, quick summarize. If you need a fresh boost of energy for your game making, move your workstation. If you feel stuck in ideas finding, grab a couple post-it notes, draw random things, pick 3 of them, and maybe this is your new game idea. If you want to make a multiplayer game, think outside the box and brainstorm in a physical way. If you want to find out more about your handwriting, what you want to do, and what drives you, just start making games without planning. Forget game design document, concepts, just start and see where the journey takes you. Jumping jacks every 30 minutes for 30 seconds. If possible, avoid Google Images and seek out the real thing for research. For example, if you feel like you're stuck at a piece about waterfalls, go outside, visit a waterfall. Cats are pretty great, dogs too. This is Sauce's dog. And embrace awkward silence. So these were my favorite things that I learned from Major Bueno. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope there's something that you can take away. Maybe you want to try something chaotic like Sauce. Maybe you want to try some physical multiplayer projects. Maybe you go on tour. That would be the best thing as well. I hope more people go on tour now. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, if you have time. And, or maybe we meet for a drink and I have more stories. And thank you guys so much. This is our Twitter thing.
Yes, thank you. Are there any questions? So I'd like to know more about Sauce's bathroom door.
Okay. So for some reason, when we were at Sauce's place, the bathroom didn't have a door. And instead, there was this Backstreet Boys banner. It was like these banners, you know, these are 25% transparent. And when you sit on the toilet, you look at the Backstreet Boys and they cheer you up. And that was weird, but that's Sauce, right?
Hi, thanks for the talk. I wanted to ask if you ever developed inside of the van and what your experience with that was.
We actually, with Adrian, we traveled to Belgium on the Screen Check Festival, and we were in the middle of working on the Petit Prix game, and we actually worked in the game, in the van while traveling. And yeah, it kind of works out. If you have a small van and good music, then it can work. But yeah, drawing there with a drawing tablet, that can be a bit tricky.
Great talk. Did you ever get homesick, or were there any points during the journey where you felt like, oh no, I want to go home, I don't like this van?
All the time. I'm a bit... I'm actually a bit afraid of. I was super afraid of this project. I really wanted to do it, but going outside, talking to a lot of new people, I'm very nervous about that. So that was the whole feeling in the whole tour. But that was at the same time, I really want to fight this. So that's why I did it.
Hi, thanks for the talk.
Thank you.
Did you get any of the money invested in the trip from the games you made?
Excuse me? Sorry.
Did you get any of the money invested in the trip? Did you get any of the money back?
Oh, right.
From the games you made?
Okay.
The money invested in the trip.
So this was a diploma project. It was my diploma project, and there were all the guys in the van were all students, so we had a bit of money from that. And we pitched that project around, and Arte Creative picked it up, and this is and they basically funded the project, and it's on their webpage, the whole documentary, and yeah. But the rest, like the games and the documentary, is all for free online.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
Did you find, although you had all these different options for instigating the creative process, was there anything that you would start off as a set routine with all the different people you were meeting along the way?
Well, one thing that I noticed that we do mentally now is like a bit like being less afraid of the unknown. Kinda like when we go on game jams, we come up with ideas sometimes super late, but we don't freak out. We were mixed up with two other guys, and they were frustrated with us, super chilly, and like for the first 24 hours we didn't came up with an idea. But yeah, maybe that is our thing. We are just too relaxed sometimes.
All right, thank you.
Then maybe.
All right, one more question.
Just one last question. First of all, great talk.
Thank you.
How did you decide which people you meet on your trip?
It was a mixture of drawing a route that makes sense to get so we can visit all of that in 7 weeks, and it was then looking, okay, who's there around there, and some of the people we knew before, like Sos, yeah, we basically asked around and said, can we visit you? Can we make games with you? And it was pretty straightforward as well. Like everyone said yes immediately, and it was great.
Well, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.